How's everybody kicking it retro here today, and welcome back to our newest Pokemon Scarlet and Violet video featuring Arbolivia, or the team featuring Arbolivia. We've got Lady Anton, we've got Decker, we've got Rocco here, we've got the whole gang, and we're ready to rock and roll. Oh hey, there's a bear over there from Generation 2. What's its name? Ursaring. Not Ursaluna, not Blood Moon Ursaluna? Nah. Today this guy is rocking the original Generation 2 Ursaring. And he leads off with his Muck. Now, I despise Muck. I know there's minimized shenanigans coming, and I know he's not going to want to deal with any of that because I do have the Taunt Ogerpon lead, which is going to shut down all of those type of shenanigans. Other than Toxic, I really don't know what this thing can go for. It can't because of Taunt, so I want to see what it tries to go for, as it looks like he tries to go for the minimize. Now, I'm pretty sure he's actually just going to switch out here, because there's absolutely nothing he can do to Rock O'Hara. I resist his poison. Well, his poison type is neutral because of Rock. He would have to go for whatever attack he has, probably Poison Jab, as I just decide to go for the Rock Tomb. He does indeed decide to withdraw the Muck, knowing the Muck can't really do hardly anything to me, as he swaps out into Bronzong. I missed this in Team Preview, but guys, I'm kind of getting the insight here. We have the Bronzong to go into Trick Room to go into Ursaring. And let me tell you something. A Violite Ursaring is nothing to play around with. Like, at all. Well, probably not even a Violite Ursaring, just because it probably wants to get burned and get that guts. Like Ursaluna, not the Blood Moon one, regular Ursaring has guts. As he sets up an Iron Defense, I'm kind of shocked because I feel like the Trick Room was very, very obvious, but Taunt shuts that down anyway. Kind of surprised I don't see a Gyro Ball right off the bat, just to get me into sturdy range. But predicting that Gyro Ball, I go out into this Pokemon, this Water Pokemon, that could definitely take, or Shifu, that could definitely take a Gyro Ball, as I decide how I want to go up against this thing. Now, to be honest, I could just bulk up all over this thing's face, and there's really nothing he can do about it. Matter of fact, bulk up, if he has Ursaring in the back slot, bulk up is just really, really easy to handle. But I think I want him to think that I'm like Choice Scarf, so I just decided to go for Surging Strikes, and 2 of those are enough to KO him, as he decides to respond with a Body Press. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, and I'm glad he... well, no, he had to go for Body Press. He had to go for his attack. So Gyro Ball and Body Press, probably Trick Room, and probably Hypnosis. I know the Surging Strikes does not miss, and 3 of those easily take this thing out, and this thing goes down without a problem. However, I kind of miscalculated a little bit. Yeah, I can probably do a lot of damage with this thing if it stayed its regular typing. As you know, as now in Generation 9, we have the ability to terrestrialize our Pokemon. And that makes this ugly lime green bear a lot scarier. He got woke up from hibernation, and he is angry, as my opponent decides to terrestrialize the Ursaring right here. I wonder what type is going to be Fairy, right? I'm sure it's going to be Fairy. Okay, so it is Fairy. That's cool. So my Drain Punch shenanigans would not have done me any good. Surging Strikes is definitely still the way to go, as I decide to bulk up here. However, I'm thinking a Flame Orb is going to happen right now so that he can get that Guts boost. And he just straight up goes for Play Rough, which misses. And that probably actually would have killed from that range. So that is very, very unfortunate for my opponent. Drain Punch is no longer a thing. Go for the Surging Strikes. And Ursaring really actually holds on really well to it. So it looks like it's not it is Eviolite and not Guts, which is good. That means it'll do less damage as he goes for this Play Rough, but because it does have that Terrestrial Stab, it does knock out my Urshifu. Now luckily, he did not get Trick Room up. As you can see here, Trick Room would have annihilated Urshifu with that Play Rough. And then Play Rough would have been neutral on Gouging Fire, and I would have had to pretty much bank on Ogerpon dealing with it. But now I can just go out into Gouging Fire and threaten it immediately. Now, looking at threats that he has remaining on his team, I could just Terrestrialize into Fire, resist his Fairy, and then set up a Dragon Dance. Because he has Muck left, I can knock this thing out however I want to. This thing could have been an absolute problem, but I got to give props to my opponent for bringing it, because that first Play Rough actually would have knocked out Urshifu on the bulk up turn. And then he definitely would have lived in an Earthquake and done a lot of damage to my team. And then I would have had my Rock O'Hara to face both Muck and his final Pokemon. So that's not good. However, that is not the case scenario here. I just have Gouging Fire that I can go for a Flare Blitz under my Fire Terastallization, and that should do a lot of damage to Muck, and that will help out extensively. Muck definitely still could have become a problem with Minimize, and then Bronzong would have been an issue if this went down. Bronzong would have beaten. So yeah, really, honest to God, the fact that I was able to handle that Ursaring the way that I was prevented a lot of problems that could have actually happened with Bronzong and Muck respectively, because if I would have lost Gouging Fire, I would have lost the game. But not the case in this scenario. Just a couple of Flare Blitzes, a Flare Blitz, and then an Earthquake, which I miss an Earthquake as he then goes for a Toxic, and I'm like, he is going to bring this entire game back. Now, I can knock him out from this range with the Ogerpon, so I'm not too worried about it. But that could have gotten out of hand really quick about those bare necessities, you know? Man, it is so good to see Ursaring, though. And real good shouts out to Generation 2. But luckily, we don't miss that second Earthquake, and this Muck goes down without any trouble. So that toxic pile of goo never became a problem like the garbage that it is. We defeated our first match. As always, I've got a bonus battle, so let's jump directly into that. Alright, it's bonus game time, and bonus game time is exciting, let me tell you. We're going to go ahead now, and he leads with Basculegion. Let me tell you something about Basculegion. I'm thinking, okay, I've got an Arbolivia, I get my Seed Sower, I get my leftovers. I hate to tell you this, but adaptability Basculegion has absolutely zero switch-ins at all. I have neutral resistance with Dragon, with my Paradox Entei. Enamorus dies in one hit to Waterfall or Wave Crash, whichever one. And Arbolivia is 2-hit KO'd by it. I didn't know this at the time, though. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, cool. I can go into Arbolivia and resist its Wave Crash. Yeah, resist. That's funny. Grass resisting water. That's supposed to happen. Basculegion thinks otherwise. Basculegion's one of those Pokemon, it doesn't play by the rules. It makes up its own rules. As you'll see here, that Wave Crash does... yeah, just a little bit over half. Not enough for the Seed Sower to recover my HP. Which is a shame, because String Sapping this thing, I probably could have easily beat it down. So that's my thought process right now, is, okay, this needs to go down right now before it becomes a problem later. With Last Respects, String Sap is a thing I can get my HP back while weakening this Pokemon. I'm at 92 HP. We saw the last one did right above half. And here comes a Wave Crash, and there goes Arbolivia. No crit, high damage roll, nothing. The mighty tree is fallen. And... let's add insult to actual injury as he gets hit by the Life Orb, gets recovered, and now my only option is to bring in Enamorus and to Stellar. If I misplay rough, I pretty much lose the game. Yeah, I probably won't die in one hit with my Paradox Entei, but this Wave Crash is going to do a stupid amount of damage even to Entei. That Dragon Resistance or Neutrality doesn't mean crap when we're talking about adaptability Basculegion. I was going to put it in its own video. I really was, with its own thumbnail. But I just decided this is the bonus battle I wanted to bring to you guys, so here it is. I decided to Terrastallize into Stellar because I am Choice Scarf, so I know I can outspeed this thing no matter what. I just have to be able to take it down with whatever I go for without struggling. I decide to go for the Terra Blast, the Stellar Terra Blast from this range. And I want you to notice something. The reason he lives it is because of my own Seed Sower grassy terrain. Lives on what must be abysmal 0 HP. Now, he will lose the Basculegion. No, he just goes for a Flip Turn, so he doesn't lose anything. Wave Crash doesn't even have to kill me. He didn't have to sacrifice Basculegion. He could just Flip Turn. the ultimate disrespect and knockout Enamorus. And you're probably like, well, Retro, you don't have a way to win this. Well, that's actually not the case. Because my Paradox Entei has Dragon Dance, so I can pump up my attack and speed and outpace the Basculegion. However, there's a big obstacle in my way. You guys know it. You guys have seen it. It's the bane of Pokemon trainers. It's Toxapex. And I think Toxapex is going to have its own little excerpt in this particular series just because it's such a major wall. Because I'm sitting here thinking, I can easily deal with this. Even if he goes for Baneful Bunker, if I call these turns right, I'm going to be fine. So I see that coming a mile away, decide to just go ahead and Dragon Dance right here. If he's going to Toxic, he's going to do it right here. And I have to attack him on the turns that he's going to do that, because I have to watch out for Baneful Bunker and Protect. And having both of those alongside Toxic makes this thing extra dangerous, especially if Haze is its last move. I'm thinking Toxic, Protect, Haze, Baneful Bunker, etc. I decide to set up another Dragon Dance, even on the turn that he's going to Toxic, because Toxic is not going to miss because he is a Poison type. Now you're like, Retro, he has Baneful Bunker and Protect. You're right, but can he live a +2 Earthquake? I mean, that's the thing. A +2 Life Orb Earthquake is going to do a lot of damage to this guy. The grass now disappears off the battlefield. It doesn't matter. He could just go for Baneful Bunker on this turn. And I go for it all, ladies and gentlemen. I go for a third Dragon Dance. And he actually goes for an attack. No Protect, no Baneful Bunker. He just decides to actually go for... Oh, it's Haze. Well, definitely should have Earthquaked on that turn. Because now, after Toxic, it has Protect and Baneful Bunker and Haze, and there is no way I can win this. Should have gone for the +2 Earthquake. Let me know in the comment section how much you think that would have done. I'm going to leave a damage calculation, and we'll see if we came out right. Thank you guys so much for all the support, and thank you for watching, and welcome to all of our new viewers, subscribers, and newcomers. Hope you guys like the music. Let me know if you know any of it. Talk to you later.